Hello and welcome. This is Diana and you are watching Holistic Vibes. This is going to be for the energy of Sagittarius, wherever it falls in your alignment, right? There is a kind of a clear line of what brings you joy. And the real thing is like what do you need to see, right? What do you need to see in your current reality that your mind has power? It's almost like there's a limiting doubt of like, I can't go on anymore. And that's because like your past life, like the activation of like the karmic cycle into a Christ consciousness of like what your hopes, wishes, dreams are, your desires, are still trying to break through, right? And you could very well feel like this shift in your cosmic energy, which is weird because I actually just watched this thing on this cosmic reader who essentially looks at your blueprint via Vedic, if I'm not mistaken, and is able to pretty much come spot on to the challenges in life, the contracts, all of that good stuff, right? And maybe some of these things are kind of they just said latitude of the breakthroughs that are needed so that you can step into this divine timeline. It's kind of it's the desirables in the mission. I don't know, but I mean, obviously it's that whole understanding of like you not being trapped. Intensity, traveling beyond the illusion and going within, right? And it's kind of weird because like through the alignment of self, like once you crack the code and you embrace like the all aspects of self, and you show yourself the grace, right? Because we only know what we can do when we are in that moment. And if you're triggered and if you grew up in a toxic environment, like you're going to get triggered by people's actions. And if people do not take the time to get to know you, like, or your intensity, then that's on them. And honestly, you just have to say, c'est la vie, like, fuck it. Because in the end, they just weren't meant to know you at the most refined part of yourself. Because we're always on a journey. In all honesty, like, nobody's perfect. And at a certain point, when you hit a threshold where you do all this internal work and then you revert back into your toxicity, it's like you have to show yourself that positive, like, affirmation of grace, of reformment, of like allowing the dissipation of defeat to fully go away, right? And it's like, why punish yourself for the coulda, woulda, shouldas? In the end, like, what is for you will always be for you. And it's like the doors to that which you desire will open. It's all about like, they've always been open. It's just you've been holding yourself back, right? Thinking, oh, it should have been this doorway. Oh, it should have looked like this. Oh, it should have been with this person. And in truth, like that just keeps you in a state of stuck and loss and heartache. And that's exactly where lower vibrational entities want to keep you. And the question is why? Because if you don't step into your power, you can't affect the collective consciousness the way your vibration is emanating. And so, like, if you're drawn to go travel, like, get in the highest vibration of yourself. Ask the earth, what does she need healing with? How can you help release the energies that are attached in that space? And through the frequency of your own alignment, as you get into, like, healing, it's really weird because they're showing me, like, the chakra system, and then they're also showing me the planetary alignment and the planets that are specific in your chart that come with particular karmic lessons. Like, you are supposed to heal those planets in your chart with that energy source. So as the alignments are walking within your favor, are rearranging their Doppler system to help you transmute that energy. And I'm getting, like, you know what I'm talking about because you've been doing it over the last couple of years. And so, like, as you're reculminating the energetic frequencies within yourself of what aligns with you, you're also tapping into what aligns within your past lives. And it's kind of like, as you're adjusting the tuner in the frequency and getting centered, you are then continuing to instantaneously create in this current 3D reality. It's you cracking the code. So, and it's through the sacral, right? So there has been a massive attack through, like, lower vibrational entities on the sacral energy, right? Through the planet, through, like, their manipulation of music, movies, lectures, what have you. And as you're seeing the truth for what it is, right? Understanding that, like, the enemy is telling you what it's doing. It's your job to draw the line, the hard line in the sand is what they said. To say, I will no longer feed this monster is what they're saying. So again, there's a reason why there is an impulse to watch the same movie 50 billion times, or there is an impulse to listen to the same CD over and over and over. I witnessed it. I was part of it. I understand it, right? And so as you understand the spell casting that is going on in your reality, and you take back your power and you break the cords that are attached into your sacral, that are attached into the back of the crown, right? Those spikes. I'm seeing specifically 7 that are tied to the moon frequencies. And so, like, as you're going through and you're reseeding your aura, your energetic field, not only are you healing those wounds that you've been carrying around over and over and over, but you're also going through and planting these new seeds through, like, the energetic frequency of, like, commanding the water to change. And you could very well find yourself to where you are astral traveling, right? Knowingly, unknowingly, like... And here's the thing, is you have to go to the ending to get to the beginning. There's always a pathway. Oh, they just said it's like this. And those wounds that you're, like, knocking around with, like that heartache and lack, and maybe there's drug addiction, maybe there is bad advice that people have been trying to manipulate and corrupt your timeline, right? Because here's the thing, is I'm going to tell you this. Anybody who is a master number or a higher frequency number, they don't want you to get on your path. They do not want you to understand, like, how you transmuting energy and how you getting into the frequency of divine love for self, how that affects other people. How that, like, literally activates the spark within your Christ consciousness, the way it activates your soul spark. And so, because when your soul spark is fully activated and you love every single aspect of yourself, it then changes the ripple of the way that the matrix reflects to you, right? It's kind of like, it's yeah, thank you. They just said you become the high priestess. Like, you become, like, all that is. And so then once you do that, because as the feminine leads, the divine masculine will follow. And so as you step into your pathway of higher acceptance, like, so does your partner. And as the masculine energy steps into place, like, then true clearing, you become a team of truly clearing energies, and honing into the, like, what is truly meant for the planet, right? It's kind of almost like she's going to hyperspeed past the fourth dimension into the fifth. But I know that that's like kind of an over exaggeration, because if we were in the heart center, there would be no death, there would be no rape, there would be no pillage, you know, there would be no abuse of kids, and we're not there yet. But they're also saying that the acceleration of, like, when divine couples come into being, it can be almost like, instead of it being a 20,000 year cycle, it can be like a 200-year cycle. It's kind of like it shuts down quite drastically, because all of a sudden your energies are honed, are tuned in, and through the grounding, through the alignment. And when that happens, like, then you become a complement of self, a complement of each other. And these entities that have been essentially keeping you in a state of disillusion, disarray, unalignment, in a state of angst, it out of your blessings, out of your spiritual blessings, right? And they're so worried that, like, the manipulation that has been taking place is no longer going to take place. It's kind of like, once you fully update your contracts and you are walking in divine faith, in divine alignment, not to say you're not going to backslide, but where you truly are confident in your own energy, it's a kind of like a nail in a coffin for those in a lower vibrational entity. And I know that, like, as you're paying attention, you're going to start seeing those energies fall, because they can no longer harvest the energy of those that are truly divine, of those that are of a higher caliber, are of angelic being. And it says, am I getting enough rest to restore my energy fully, and show up to my life, right? And sometimes we can think that we're showing up, but in actuality, like, we are still having hooks, lures, sinks, impediments, amplifications in our auric field that do not even belong to us, right? And, like, through that clearing of the past life, through the clearing of they just said that there may be, like, identifications of impediment on the back. It says, this body is your vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling. How much sleep are you getting? And what can you do to help your body rest? There's something, the lavender is going to be big for you. And your mantra is, the more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. And who told you that you couldn't, right? Who told you that you resting is being lazy? They're also showing me the whole, like, order of, like, the holding on to a seed and, like, accelerating its growth. So that may be something that you are playing with. I think somebody else got that, or, I mean, it was like a picture download. And I don't know if that's because I'm kind of like, I've been playing with more of my gifts. So they're kind of showing me more things that you could be doing in your own process. And so it says, you and your loved ones are safe. Where have you felt like they were not? Where have you been stuck in a state of fight or flight? Where, like, you could not breathe, where you'd felt like you just could not get ahead, right? Yeah, looking at the herbs, not just lavender, but looking at, like, different herbs that you can utilize to, like, clear out your crown, right? Like, I love, like, if you get a bundle of mint and you slap it on your crown as you're taking a shower, like, it's absolutely invigorating. You probably don't want to do it right before you go to sleep. But you're also going to feel like whatever is attached to the back of the crown, and behind in the back of the third eye, like, you're going to feel that clear and open up. There's also something in regards to you teaching through sacred fire. Again, I mean, if you guys don't burn candles and like stare at the candles, I would totally start that practice because it's pretty amazing how quickly you can drop into theta. You also have to work on your discernment of like what you're hearing, and that's going to happen through you cleansing and detoxing as you're proceeding forward. It's kind of like you've seen without a shadow of a doubt, like specifically what it is you're supposed to be doing on this planet. But for some reason, either drugs, alcohol, a numbing agent, bad advice, the need to want to be normal. I don't know. But it was impeding your sacral energy. And so, like, you have to identify that, yes, you are either a crystalline or an indigo or a cosmic soul, right? Like an angelic soul. And so, like, give yourself the time, like, I don't know, they just said 3 days, to allow yourself to not be stimulated by, like, TV, by exterior forces, and allow yourself to go internal to sever the ties that have been repeating over the last couple of weeks. You're gonna know exactly what it is, like exactly what it is. There are many right ways for us to behave. Is it possible to live upon this planet with a large number of other beings who believe and behave in a variety of ways in peace? When you are able to focus in such a way as to allow your alignment with Source, even though others choose to behave differently than you are choosing, then you will truly be free from the bondage of attempting the impossible task of getting everyone to agree on the right way. One right way leads to endedness. Many right ways allow eternal expansion. It's almost like the 3 aspects of yourself have to align through like the herbs and the ancestral like messages, so that you can then step into like your core attributes. Make sense? Yeah, I'm going to leave that there. Hopefully something in this resonated with you. If it did, please like, comment, subscribe, and share. Until next time, be well.